There's a long history of movies made out of beloved attractions from the park, but now Disney is making a movie based off of the supposedly secret club that you have to pay thousands of dollars to be a part of. Let's talk about the Club 33 movie on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, and here with me is my gold-plated friend, VashSky. Vash, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing very fine, thank you. Now, usually I'd be doing much finer if I can get into Club 33. Why can't I get in there? But don't worry, it looks like a film is coming to get me inside finally.
That's right. We finally have, it sounds like we're going to have an hour and a half to 2 hour ad for the most expensive thing that the Walt Disney Company does. Let's talk about Disney's Club 33 getting movie treatment from Goosebumps writer Darren Lemke, Sean Levy's 21 Laps exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter. This by Boris Kitt. Disneyland's private dining club is located near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which helped launch the theme park to screen pipeline in the early 2000s. See, it's next to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, so it's pretty much the same thing. It's gonna be the exact same thing as Pirates of the Caribbean. It's so good. Before we even get into this article here, what is Club 33, Vash?
Club 33 started out as a very exclusive club in which it was the only place on Disneyland property in which you can actually be served alcohol. Now, obviously, that's not true anymore with the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, adding Oga's Cantina and so forth. But for a while there, for over 60 years, it was the only place where you can actually drink alcohol. And there has been some theories as to why it exists in the first place. Apparently, it may have been a place in which Walt wanted to woo investors into Epcot and companies and so forth. So that's an idea. Some people have talked about why it's named 33. Some people have said that, well, it stands for the 33 companies that Walt Disney wanted to woo. Well, apparently that's not the case because it just stands for 33 Royal Street, which is the address in Disneyland for that location. So there's been a lot of mystery surrounding the club. But the identity that it's taken on is it is the most elite club, not only in Southern California, but almost the entire world, definitely the nation.
I'm hearing that it takes first of all, in order to get on the wait list, I'm hearing that you have at least a $10,000 buy-in to get into the wait list, or maybe is it $35,000 for the first year that you're a member, and then something like $15,000 every year to re-up your Club 33 membership, right?
I have heard it's now 22,000. That's from a very good source. So I have reason to believe that is accurate. Well, those dues are going up every single year, by the way. So perhaps both of us are right. And by the time you're watching this video, both of our figures are out of date. It is very, very expensive to even be a part of that wait list. And by the way, that wait list is like 5 to 10 years long. So it's not like you can get in there tomorrow. It is unbelievably expensive and unbelievably exclusive.
So let's talk about this movie then. Let's go back to the article here. The private Disney club is going public like big screen public. Club 33, the exclusive dining club inside Disneyland, is getting the movie treatment. Darren Lemke, I'm going to say that, who has worked on such family films as Goosebumps starring Jack Black and Shazam, has been tapped to pen the script set in a fantastical world about the club. I will say this, Goosebumps, my kids did like Goosebumps, and Shazam, that was pretty good for a DC film there. I like Zachary Levi there. Funny enough, it's a different Levi that's working on this one. Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, Dan Levine, and Dan Cohen are producing through 21 Laps Entertainment. The project is said to exude the tone and vibes of Clue and Night at the Museum, Levy's own fantasy adventure trilogy set in a museum and featuring exhibits and historical figures come to life. I defy you there. It's actually set in at least 2 museums. I like the Night at the Museum films. They are a little cheesy, but they're actually quite funny. There's some excellent work there by a lot of friends of these people. The Ivan the Terrible character played by Christopher Guest, funny. Darth Vader is in it, and Hank Azaria is the best villain in the series. I believe he is in the second one. Not quite sure there. For Club 33, the story centers on Kim, a young aspiring detective living in present-day New York who receives a mysterious invite to the highly secretive Club 33. In this case, it's a magical and exclusive dining club that exists outside of time and space. The club's members are the greatest and most iconic members from the past, geniuses, royalty, and history makers. Vash, I'm going to ask you something here.
Please.
Have you seen Tomorrowland?
Yes, I have seen Tomorrowland. This sounds a lot like Tomorrowland. This also sounds like a couple of other concepts that have kind of been mashed together. So one of those is the SEA, or the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is more of a kind of a WDI or Walt Disney Imagineering niche thing that they've been expanding slowly. I believe they've made reference to this in several attractions, including Tower of Terror in Disney's Seas, and also in the new Treehouse that actually opened in Disneyland, and also Jon Favreau's movie, which was kind of to be set in kind of a Disney castle park, and like a Night at the Museum type event, the animatronics come to life at night, and I believe somebody's locked in the park and obviously experiences these things. So it's kind of a mesh of several ideas that either weren't previously successful or haven't taken off since their inceptions.
Right, and that Tomorrowland movie, famously done by, I want to say that was Brad Bird. I liked Tomorrowland. It was an odd concept. It was a little funny. They incorporated a lot of Disney lore into it, like I think the It's a Small World ride. It was Brad Bird, by the way, written by Damon Lindelof, Brad Bird, and Jeff Jensen. Mm-hmm. That movie. It was good, had a lot of great production design. It didn't do well, and I think that Tomorrowland might have the failure of Tomorrowland at the box office. I watched it several times. I liked it. I might have tried to find one of those pins, again, about a secret society. That not doing well might have been the reason that Tron 3 got canceled back when it was going to be done by Joseph Kosinski, still starring Garrett Hedlund, hopefully having Daft Punk and Jeff Bridges attached to it. Supposedly that was actually getting ready to start shooting before they pulled the digital rug out from under them there. Tomorrowland, of course, like you said, being about a society of people that those movers and shakers. There was this person that's famous, of course they were part of our society. By the way, the Eiffel Tower is actually one of our many sites of our secret club here. Fascinating to me to think about Disney revisiting this idea over and over again. It's a trope. I don't want to say it's a cliche. It's a trope to have a secret society that already involves all these people that you have already heard of. Assassin's Creed does that as well, which we won't comment on what's going on with Assassin's Creed right now. When a murder is committed moments after her arrival, I'm assuming this is Kim still, the patrons look to Kim, there it is, to solve it. Kim, who despite her brilliance, can't seem to get out of her own way, again, another trope, must rise to the occasion to find a way to capture the criminal amidst the greatest minds history has to offer. Club 33 is the latest effort by Disney to seek screen inspiration from its theme parks. Adapting attractions has been a 21st century tradition ever since the Pirates of the Caribbean became a billion-dollar franchise, which in turn fueled park interest. Other efforts such as 2015's Tomorrowland or the more recent Jungle Cruise or Haunted Mansion have shown it's not an easy ride. There's two Haunted Mansion films that show that, by the way, just pointing that out. Even non-marquee attractions are getting attention. Ron Moore's For All Mankind is developing a Disney Plus series based on the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, while Ryan Reynolds is working on a feature on the same subject. That's interesting. So this is Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy work together a lot. If you didn't notice from earlier in this, 21 Laps, Sean Levy is also working on Deadpool and Wolverine, which the last time I checked, Ryan Reynolds is heavily involved in the Deadpool movie. What in the world is going on here? We're starting to get into a Lucasfilm situation here, where multiple people appear to be working on the same project.
Yes, we have the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, cinematic universe is what we're getting at here, right? or something to that effect. This is very, very interesting. So we've heard, like the article mentions, we've heard a number of concepts that have been developed for attraction-themed movies. I believe we recently heard about Space Mountain. I've heard about like a Big Thunder television show, which sounded actually pretty cool, I must confess, but a lot of these others just don't really necessarily sound all that appealing. And in the case of Club 33, it seems like an interesting choice to theme it around this club. Now, I would agree that you probably are going to be taking a fantastical take on this, because if anybody knows the club, who knows the club, you know that there's been some drama within its ranks for a little while now, with people maybe abusing benefits and maybe having those benefits stripped and so forth. There's definitely more to be had there. That could be a reality television show for sure.
I think we're probably going to have to talk about some of that because you've said something that's very interesting to me, but this video doesn't need to delve into that aspect of Club 33. So check out That Park Place live this Thursday at noon, and we're going to talk about it there. So what I want to do to wrap this up here, the thing that I want to talk about next is that this Club 33, as Vash referenced, opened in 1967. Located near Pirates, obviously had a start just as Walt's way to communicate with people here. Also, 1967, just before Walt's passing. Over time, word quietly got out about the place and morphed into an elite stealth club that nevertheless operated in open. The club now has outposts in Disney World in Florida, as well as Tokyo Disneyland and Shanghai Disneyland. This is the part that makes me uncomfortable about this idea of this movie here. This is not something that is directly marketed by the Walt Disney Company. This is a subset of a subset. You kind of have to know what it is to even ask how to get into it. You have to get onto the waiting list. I'm not saying that people wouldn't find out about it, because there are, of course, a ton of videos on YouTube that talk about Club 33 and how to get into it. It used to be the only place that you could get alcohol in the parks. It's super expensive, and Disney doesn't do things like this accidentally. They're big into synergy. Whenever they do a movie, they put something in the parks. Whenever they put something in the parks, they want to talk about it in movies. Obviously, American Idol does Disney Night. This is a giant corporation that just looks for ways to cross-pollinate in order to market things. I don't like the idea of making a movie to market one of the most expensive things that the Walt Disney Company does. To me, it's kind of like doing an hour-and-a-half movie promoting Golden Oak over there at Walt Disney World, like it's an ad for their very expensive land that is also, by the way, not connected to Reedy Creek. They annexed that part so no one else could vote. This makes me uncomfortable because I don't want an hour-and-a-half to a 2-hour ad for something super expensive in the parks. Doing a story around Pirates, Pirates is a free ride. Of course, there's Genie Plus and things like that. There's merchandise. They would be doing merchandise for any movie that they do. But one, I don't like them diluting the Club 33 brand. And I also don't like them trading off of this, like trying to inspire little kids to, buy a Gucci bag, essentially.
I don't disagree. I think this is really kind of gross, to be honest, to highlight something like this in this manner. Obviously, this club exists, and there's no question, and they've actually expanded its footprint. I believe it has now taken up residence in both Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, with, I believe, Epcot and Hollywood Studios, if not having already been opened, on the way. There's a 1901 in Disney California Adventure, and it's also exclusive to club members. So if you're looking for that synergy angle, I think you're right, Jonas. Shortly after they've expanded their footprints in all of the parks, well, now we're getting this movie. That seems to be consistent with that philosophy for sure. But all that being said, though, it's just, like you said, it's really quite gross to highlight or make a film out of something that is simply unattainable to 99.9% of your populace out there. You just have no chance of ever getting in or ever coming close to this whole thing. And it's just not something you make entertainment off of, honestly.
Right. It also makes me wonder, because I think this is going to be marketed as something that is, she's going to be, I'm just calling it now. I think the character is going to be very relatable, probably not a wealthy person, but they're going to be getting into Club 33. Maybe they'll be admitted into Club 33. I just don't like the idea of trying to say to every child out there, see this really expensive thing, by the way, so you can drink alcohol in the parks. That's something that you need to aspire to. I don't see Disney sticking the landing here. That's a phrase that we often use on this channel here. Like when we talk about Inside Out 2 and the anxiety character, I don't have faith that they're going to stick the landing on that one, because it's maybe a little dangerous to introduce the concept of anxiety to a 4-year-old. It's maybe not the best thing to try to introduce the concept of a club for the very wealthy at Walt Disney World Resort and Disneyland Resort to a 4-year-old. But we want to throw this to our commenters. What do you think about this? Are you a member of Club 33? And also, do you want to hear Vash's stories about what is going on in Club 33? Vash, are you a member of Club 33?
Who says I'm not? Ooh,
well, I was asking.
This is very interesting.
Literally here. All right. Let's take this back here. Like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.